Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Ariane. I'm not the best Kirtanya, so sorry about that. Wow, why is it so loud? Can you fix it? Now, we're just going to recite. We're just going to recite the. Sorry about the. Shall I hold it? Okay. Will that be better? Someone's going to fix it. Okay, we can recite the invocation mantra. So if you know Om Namo Bhagavate, then you can recite with me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Thank you. And we're going to be reciting from chapter 14, verse 12. It's on the screen. So I'll recite, and then if you feel comfortable, you can recite. So here I go. Lobha pravritte arambha, Lobha pravritte arambha, Karmanam asham spraha, Karmanam asham spraha, Rajasya etani jayante, Rajasya etani jayante, Vivitre paratashrabha, Vivitte paratashrabha. And then I will just read. Does anyone want to recite the verse? I'll help you. Anyone? No, it's fine. So I'll just do the word-for-word translation. Lobha, greed. Pravitte, activity. Arambha, endeavor. Karmanam, inactivities. Ashamha, uncontrollable. Spraha, desire. Rajasi, of the mode of passion. Etani, all these. Jayante, develop. Viridde, when there is an excess. Bharatashrabha, O chief of the descendants of Bharata. And the translation is, O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. And then I'll also read out the purport by Srila Prabhupada, which is most important for us. One in the mode of passion is never satisfied with the position he has already acquired. He hankers to increase his position. If he wants to construct a residential house, he tries his best to have a palatial house, as if he would be able to reside in the house eternally. And he develops a great hankering for sense gratification. There is no end to sense gratification. He always wants to remain with his family and in his house and to continue the process of sense gratification. There is no cessation of this. All these symptoms should be understood as characteristic of the mode of passion. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before I say anything, I'll invoke the blessings of the previous acharyas. If you know the invocation prayers, you can recite with me. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahita Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhupa Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you so much. If I don't say anything else, I think at least I said that much. So it's so nice to be here. I haven't done this in a long time. And it's so nice to see everyone. If anything, it's purifying for me because to be able to learn this part of the Bhagavad Gita, even if it'll be just a few words, then it's worth. This is worth it. My life is worth living. So I'm not exaggerating. I think any one word from the Bhagavad Gita can be so purifying, and to think that most people don't even know about the Bhagavad Gita. So that's why I say what I say. So today we're going to be talking from the Bhagavad Gita, and we're going to be talking about a very practical aspect, which is called the modes of material nature, which is known as goodness, passion, and ignorance. Is anyone familiar with this topic? No? Oh, good. Great. So we're going to learn together. Before I do that, though, I'm going to bring you up to speed what's been happening in the Bhagavad Gita so far. So Bhagavad Gita broadly covers three aspects. In chapters 1 to 6, what's been talked about is karma yoga, how to stay in the world, perform your activities, but be connected to Krishna. Do it for Krishna. So karma yoga teaches us that. And then 7 to 12, Krishna teaches about bhakti, how better never to forget that our purpose is to invoke love of God, love of Krishna for others. So bhakti is covered in chapters 7 to 12. And then the remaining chapters, because once you cover bhakti, everything is covered, right? What else do you need? No, there is. Krishna says that, okay, now you know everything, but there's still obstacles in the way. Now you know what the real purpose is. You're still going to come across, hurdles, and I'll show you how to cross those hurdles. And in chapters 14 to 18, Krishna then covers knowledge, yoga of knowledge, practical application, how to come across some of the hurdles that we might face. So, having said that, Krishna covers 5 different topics in the Bhagavad Gita, and they are the soul, God, Ishvara, time, Kala, activity, karma, and material nature, which is Prakriti. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So, Krishna hasn't spoken until now so much about material nature, and now in chapter 14 he'll talk about this aspect, and then also later on in chapter 17 Krishna will go into further details about material nature, how everyone is trapped in this material world by the influence that are there, which are the modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Today we'll explore Gita's teachings on these modes. So they're typically known as gunas. These modes are described by Krishna. They influence our thought, behavior, even our destinies. Knowing how they operate is so important that Krishna dedicates an entire chapter to exploring them. And it is really important because it's very practical as well. It's something you can do today, here and now. And also in Bhagavad Gita 13.24, Krishna declares, one who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the soul, the interaction of the modes will attain liberation. Such a person will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. This is a big promise, isn't it? Liberation is the ultimate goal of life, to break free from the cycle of birth and death and return to the spiritual world. According to Srila Prabhupada, understanding these modes under the guidance of a spiritual master makes us eligible to transcend these modes, these material modes, and attain Krishna's eternal abode. Prabhupada many times emphasized getting out of this material world, and getting out was the main aim of our life. It's the real goal in life. Because people in the world, they don't even know that they're suffering, actually. And you might have seen, those posters that you have in National Geographic, those pictures of the animals. And I think I can describe one picture that I've seen. There's like a fly that's like on a flower, and then it's just buzzing around trying to take nectar from the flower. But what the fly doesn't see is behind it, there's a frog with a long, like a tongue. You know those tongues that go like stretch? And the fly is just about to be eaten. And the fly doesn't realize, and that's our kind of position. We're just going around this world thinking, this is it, I'm going to live forever. But there's a frog behind us waiting to catch us. And we don't see that because our knowledge is still quite minimal. And Bhagavad Gita, what it does is that it opens up eternity for us. It opens up the idea there's not just this life, There's things that have happened to us previously that's brought us to this position. So yeah, Prabhupada many times emphasized this. And in one clip I remember, and I was just a beginner, I'd only seen it first time, he's like, why do we have to take birth? Why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to get old? And I was thinking, what do you mean? What else is there, you know? And Prabhupada asked these questions. Normal people don't even think about these. Like me, they wouldn't even know that there is an option other than taking birth again and again and breaking from this cycle of birth and death. So this is what full knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita does. And this month is a very special month. So this month is December, and all of the devotees that are followers of Krishna, of Prabhupada, they go out door to door, city to city, and they preach the message of Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone know what's so special this month? You know? No? Yeah, it's Gita Jayanti. Well done. Yeah. What's your name, Mataji? Shruti. Well done. I was convinced I was going to get it. Well done. It's on the 11th of December. But there's a big program that Keshav Maharaj is going to do, recite the whole Bhagavad Gita. And this is why all of the devotees go door to door and give the Bhagavad Gita to everyone. I go sometimes, and it's the most important thing I think that I will do in this year or on my life, is to give somebody that knowledge, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that anyone who preaches my message is the most dearest to me. So even if you don't achieve that big promotion, or if you don't please anybody this year, you can salvage this year, you can salvage your life. Just speak or give somebody the gift of Bhagavad Gita this Christmas. Instead of giving them another perfume, another clothing, or another toy, or whatever it may be, give them Bhagavad Gita, because this is something that even if they touch once, will be with them for lifetimes to come. And that's how powerful it is. It might, if you're hearing that for the first time, I can see why you would think, oh, yeah, right, you know, in this world, like, how easy is it to get something like that? You don't get anything for free. Yeah, you be prepared, because once you touch it, once you come in contact with the Bhagavad Gita, be prepared to give your life, because slowly but surely, Krishna will take over. He's like, you've heard, in like a needle, out like a plow. And that's how Krishna is. So yeah, if you want to know how to do this, or if you want to give the gift of Bhagavad Gita to somebody and you don't know how, come and speak to me afterwards. I'd love to help. So yeah, that's how powerful even one verse can be from the Bhagavad Gita. And we'll talk more about the modes. I know I'm going off track a little bit. But the modes are always fighting each other. So the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance are always, Krishna is saying that they're always trying to predominate. Sometimes mode of goodness is on top, sometimes ignorance, and like that, they're always fighting amongst each other. And all of us have certain elements within ourselves as well. All the three personalities exist within us and outside of us. Whatever modes we are functioning within us affect the surroundings, our environment, and our environment also carries the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and they in turn affect us. So it's a cycle. And it's important to understand how the different modes affect us and how the environment affects us, because this can protect us. This little bit of knowledge can protect us. And the sattva guna, tama guna, and raja guna, you see, it's called guna. So it's in Sanskrit that literally means the rope. So, like the rope, you've seen those puppeteers. You might have seen this picture of the 3 people, and they're pulling the strings. So the modes are like that. They're pulling us in different directions, and according to which string it is, we're going in that direction. It may be the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So let me delve deeper into it. What is the mode of goodness? So mode of goodness is associated with clarity, peace, knowledge. These are the typical tendencies of mode of goodness. Somebody in the mode of goodness may be recognized as being quite subdued, calm, peaceful. And when you're around them, you feel quite calm. Somebody in the mode of passion, they're always busy in activity. Intense activity. They get lots of things done. Moms are like that, aren't they? They're a bit like, we have to be though. And it's not a bad thing. You have to get things done, right? So somebody in the mode of passion will be very active, but they'll also have lots of desires, because in order to get something done, you have to have a goal, right? There's like a end goal in mind. And because of that, they're driven by their desires and ambition. However, it tends to lead one to dissatisfaction because there's no end to desire. The mode of passion and the desires can be described like an itch. You carry on itching and it just continues. Like sometimes you have a piece of cake. You have it and you think, oh, this is going to make me happy for a long time, but you've eaten it, it's gone, that's it. And then it's on your waistline for a lifetime. It doesn't work like that. Desires don't work like that. Passion, the mode of passion doesn't work like that. So that's passion. And then ignorance is marked by laziness, confusion. Sometimes you experience fog, mind fog. It's like that. And people in the mode of ignorance, they're confused. They don't know what direction they're going in life. And they tend to have destructive tendencies. It blinds us and it leads further and further into darkness. That's the mode of ignorance. So to make it clear, I could give you a few examples. So somebody who picks up a cigarette and smokes it, do they have free will? Are they exercising free will? Yes or no? Yeah? Yeah, kind of. You're right, kind of. Because they have a little bit of free will because they've picked up the cigarette. But most people who are addicted, they'll say, I don't even know why I'm picking it up. Because they're not getting any happiness from it. It's just become a habit. So like this, the modes of material nature are dictating to us. And sometimes we don't even realize it. And this is why if you don't know about the modes, then you're falling into a trap. And like that, you're going to continue into perpetual cycle of birth and death. And even now, have you seen how interesting the marketing is on the cigarette packets? Have you seen it? I think it's a bit crazy, really. Before they used to have smoking kills in small writing. Then it covered literally the whole thing. And I think now they have like graphic images of organs, but still people are smoking them. And you think even they don't realize what they're doing. So because they're so much controlled by the modes that are covering them. Another example. If someone keeps checking their phone, do you think they have free will? Yeah? No? Yeah, they do have free will, but it's a habit now. They're just checking, for the sake of checking, and they just need to know what's happening. No one's holding a gun to their head and saying, check it now, check the phone now. But they can't help it. They keep checking the phone. It's because of a habit. they're also provoked by something that they can't act without. There's no rationale behind it. And we are living in this world, we're thinking we are expressing free will, but actually no, we're just controlled by the modes. And the funny thing is that we don't even know the difference of what our own free will is. And hopefully this kind of knowledge will help you to then realize the effects, and you can go beyond it. Krishna says that you could go beyond it and then actually express your free will. As spirit souls, we are full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. We're unaware of the modes that are being affected. We think we're making decisions, but really we are being controlled by the different modes of nature. You can understand and you can become wise. So sometimes if, for example, you get angry, then you can think, okay, I'm in the mode of ignorance, and then you can rein yourself back in by observing your tendencies. Does anyone have any questions so far? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Yeah? Some people think that, okay, this means that I'm just being controlled by the modes. I can't really do much about it. It seems like I can't change myself. I'm just programmed, so I'm just going to be like this. But you are right in a way, because the modes of material nature are so strong. Even Krishna says that Devi hi shagunamai mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. And he says this divine energy of mine is consisting of 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered onto me can easily cross beyond it. So we have to understand that we are trying to offer something to Krishna ourselves. We're trying to offer ourselves. And there are parts of us that are not so good. There are parts of us that are okay. So you have to look at yourself like a bad apple, rotten apple. So you could take an apple, it might be rotten. Jai Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Gauranitai ki jai. Yeah, so we can look ourselves as a rotten apple. You know, when you have a rotten apple, you have the rotten part, you have the dark, bitter part. You cut that out, that's gone. And then the remaining part, you could just wash, cut it up, and then offer it to Krishna. So there's some things about us that just has to go. You just can't do anything with it. And then there's some things, part of us, that can be purified, that can be transformed. And then in that way we can offer ourselves to Krishna. But it's important to understand that this doesn't happen overnight. Even if you're here today, you decide tomorrow, and then you say, I'm going to change the day after. It doesn't work like that. But the main thing is that you're endeavoring. And what happens is that you make small progress over time, and we focus on progress, not perfection. And that helps a lot. So even time can be in the mode of passion, ignorance, and goodness. So the mode of the morning time is the mode of goodness. So in the morning, this is why most devotees, people that live in the temple we have Arti in the Mangal Arti, which is the golden hour, which is called the Brahma Muhurat, and it's 1 hour 36 minutes before sunrise. During this time, most devotees, they chant, they do spiritual activities. But, you know, with this knowledge, you can, what to say, you can even improve your material life. So for example, any complex decisions you have to make, you do that first thing in the morning. Something that requires contemplation, that requires clarity of mind, you do that first thing in the morning. But what we tend to do, is we fill that time up with trivial things like deciding what to wear, what the kids are going to have for dinner, all these things, you know. But what we should do is have a clarity of our goal, have a clarity of what we need to do first thing in the morning, and the rest can wait. And this is why a lot of like CEOs, even Jay Shetty, like what they have is like they have a wardrobe which is all the same colors. They just pick it first thing in the morning, they're ready, off they go. But they utilize the time because time is money. Time is so precious for them. So this is how they utilize the time. But for us, we have a higher goal. This is why devotees use that golden time to make use of that time so that we can reap benefits for lifetimes to come, not just this life. Afternoon is ideal for high energy tasks. So anything that requires intense activity, lots and lots of energy, you do that in the afternoon. Even Ayurveda, they say the heaviest meal should be in the afternoon. This is why. This is because the sun is at the highest. It's at its peak, so that gives us energy, and with that energy, we can do something. We can digest like heavy food and things like that. Evening time is the mode of ignorance. A time to unwind, time to sleep. But what do? We use that for our most like heaviest activities. If we misuse that time, like watching, I don't know, intensely stimulating content, then you're going to be up all night. You're not going to get the rest that you deserve, and then you'll be in this cycle. The next day will be ruined because you can't wake up in the morning, and then you're going to wake up late, and so like that. If we misuse that time, then it's not going to be beneficial. So by using this knowledge, you can improve the quality, not only just improve the quality of your life, you can be a better version of yourself and then offer it to Krishna. How do we recognize the modes in ourselves? Understanding these modes helps us to recognize these tendencies within ourselves. For example, ignorance comes under so anger, laziness, and hatred comes under ignorance. Some individuals may sleep excessively or engage in harmful activities as well. Passionate people tends to have endless desires. They seek recognition, praise, material achievements, but they're always going to remain dissatisfied. People in the mode of goodness, you'll always see, like, there are some people that have effulgence. They're like shiny. They're like, just like illuminated. Yeah. And you can, if you walk around here long enough, you'll find someone like that. But they're calm. They're truthful, forgiving. They're peaceful, satisfied. So this is how you can identify what mode you might be in. And like I said, that's helpful because then you can decide, okay, I'm in the mode of ignorance, what do I need to do? And gradually bring yourself up to passion and then goodness, and that's the idea. So what's the destination of these different beings, and how did we get here? So it's said that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that people at the time of death, whatever you think of at that moment, that decides your next destination, where you're going to go next. So people in ignorance, if they die in ignorance, then their birth will be in lower species of life, which is the animal species. This is because you haven't developed, you haven't really progressed from where you were before. So then you're going to go somewhere where you're going to fit in, right? So you go into the animal species of life. The mode in passion, if you like activity, you like desire, then you're going to come back to the material world here on earthly realm to continue as a human, desiring to, follow your desires. And then the mode of goodness, if you die in the mode of goodness, then you're elevated to the higher planets, where you can enjoy, you can live longer. That sounds good, right? Sounds good? Yeah. But actually, you still are going to be in the material world, because even in the higher realms, you're going to have to take a body. Although you might be able to live a lot longer, you'll have a nice body, there'll be endless enjoyment, it still comes to an end. You still have to come back to die, to suffer old age, disease. So Krishna says that better than that is to transcend the modes. So whatever mode you're in, use that for Krishna. Prabhupada often used this word called dovetail. Dovetail means to, whatever you have, just offer it to Krishna, transform it into service to Krishna. And then whatever mode you're in, that can be transcendental. And to emphasize this point, anyone heard of the Gajendra story? The Elephant King? No? It'll be my pleasure to tell you. So there was an elephant that was living in the jungle, and this was many years ago in the previous ages. So he was going to the lake to enjoy, and the atmosphere was lovely. The lake was the right temperature, and it was just so inviting. The lake was covered with beautiful lotus flowers. We see flowers here, sometimes they're like a little bit ruined, outside petals are all broken, but this was beautiful. It was just so inviting. It was like the material world, right? It looks so inviting. You think you're going to enjoy. So he was heading to the lake to enjoy with the other, like his female elephants, and beneath the lake was danger lurking, waiting. He got into the lake and he enjoyed for some time, but little did he know that there was a crocodile waiting underneath. And he was having the best time. He was thinking, life couldn't be better. What more can I ask for? And just at that time, it was so unfortunate. Isn't it like that? Like when you're enjoying and you think, life is perfect. Bam. Disaster happens. The crocodile bit the elephant, and he gripped him so hard. And this was in the previous yuga. So what happened is that a fight went on between the elephant and the crocodile. Sometimes Gajendra was winning, and he thought, okay, I'm going to get out of this. But then the crocodile again got hold of him. And then he thought, I'm done for it. I'm going to try something else. Let me try something else. And then again, he was back to square one. He was still gripped by the crocodile. That happens to us, right? Like we're in an unfortunate situation. We think, okay, I'm going to try to do my best to get out of this situation. I'm going to save myself. No, I can still be happy. Let me just try something else. But it never works out sometimes, does it? Sometimes it does, maybe. But this went on for years. And, like I said, sometimes the crocodile was winning, sometimes the elephant, and sometimes it was a tie. But eventually, Gajendra tried everything. Eventually he thought, I'm done. I'm a lost cause. I'm a dead man. So then he put his arms up in surrender to Lord Vishnu. He got a lotus flower, and then he offered prayers to Lord Vishnu. So sometimes, you know, we have to put our hands up, right? Like you have a situation in life and you think, I've tried, this has happened to me. I've tried everything I can. Nothing is going to change. The only thing I can change now is myself, right? Because the situation is not going to change. Material world is like that. You're not gonna, like Krishna says, the material world and these energies of mine are so powerful, they're hard to overcome. They're so powerful sometimes. So whilst you can't change that, you have a choice, you have free will. You can change yourself. Because any trauma, any dissatisfaction or anything like that, that's experienced in the mind first, right? You might have scars, yeah, sure, but you have the will, you have the power to say, no, I'm still gonna be transcendental to what's going on around me. I'm gonna surrender to God, I'm gonna surrender to Krishna, whatever he wants. This is good for me. Whatever will happen, it'll be fine. So sometimes, you know, like Arjuna, he put his hand up. It was more like this, right? He was raising his arm to pull the arrow. So even Draupadi, she put her hands up. And Gajendra here, he's putting his hand, after he tried everything, he's surrendering to Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita, what it teaches us is what to do. In some situations, you have to fight. You have to. There's no option. Yeah, it might be probably wrong of me to say fight in the temple. No. Sometimes you do have to do your duties, right? But sometimes there is no option. You just have to surrender after you've tried everything. Nobody's saying be irresponsible. You have to perform your duties. And but sometimes you just got to surrender. So that's what Gajendra did. And luckily for him, he remembered a prayer from his previous life because he was a devotee. And he put his hands up in surrender to Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu came on a Garuda and he saved Gajendra. And that was an amazing story that reminds me that in the material world, you'll be surprised again and again by the crocodile of the material world. And sometimes you have to surrender to Krishna. Sometimes you have to fight. And this is what the Bhagavad Gita teaches us, what to do when. It takes special endeavor. It takes special mercy from Krishna. But if you read the Bhagavad Gita and you have association of devotees or somebody who's situated on the shore and they can say, here, take my hand, I'll take you out of the ocean. When you're drowning and you think, okay, how am I going to get out? You can look to somebody who is spiritual, who can give you a hand and take you out. And sometimes that would be Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes it might be a devotee. But all of these things are available by the special mercy of Prabhupada. So if anybody, this is my presentation, by the way, on the modes. A lot can be said, because even some of the modes, some of the foods that we consume are in the modes. And different food that we eat will affect us. So you are what you eat, you've heard of that, right? And this is why Prabhupada gave us the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication, because intoxication is ignorance, meat eating is ignorance. So Prabhupada gave us those a lifestyle where you have a platform to practice bhakti and you have a better chance of transcending the modes. It puts us on a platform of mode of goodness. Like I said, these principles can be applied to a material life, but that's just like, broken glass. Material life is like broken glass. You have, like, Krishna offers the diamond, So if anybody's got any questions, then I can try and answer. Or if anyone's got any something to add, then it would be amazing to hear. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.